everybody, Hebrew77 here, and today I want to talk about the unsung heroes, the pillars of the community, the ones behind the scenes who hold the sticks together, the people who are working in the trenches, the ones who work so hard to put everything together for these bigger channels. Today, I want to talk about the unsung heroes of the Mandela community. Hello, welcome back. Hebrew77 here, and as you saw in the intro, today we're going to be talking about the unsung heroes, the pillars of the community, the ones behind the scenes, even ones who have smaller channels, and even one who has an even larger channel, who do all the labor. Today, as I'm recording this is, after all, Labor Day. So today we're going to take a look back at some of the ones, the key ones. There's a lot of people out there who deal with the Mandela effect on a daily basis, day in and day out. But they are rarely mentioned. They are rarely talked about. And yes, some of them do have their own show. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot more out there than what I'm going to mention on today's show, and I will do a few honorable mentions. However, the main ones, the ones that we know personally, that we hear day in and day out, are the ones that I mentioned sort of in the description. You have your Sandy Diva, Nobleness D. You have your Teresa Lynch, Fizzy Pop, and a whole lot more. But those are the four key ones: Sandy Diva, Noble SD, Teresa Lynch, and Fizzy Pop. And if it weren't for them, the countless hours of research, the hard and heavy footwork that they put in and day out, continuous hours long after the shows have ended, these are the unsung heroes of the Mandela effect.
Hey party people, broadcasting from deep in the heart of Texas. It is now the 11th hour. Do you know where your reality is?
The Scared Performance channel, for one example, has a lot of players. Sometimes it will be just Dan and Fizzy Pop on Freaky Friday, and then Dan and Armor on Saturday Speakeasy. But on Mondays, as tonight, where you have such a wide crew, Scare Performance, Sandy Diva, Noble SD, Fizzy Pop, all of these fine panelists bring a little something to the table. The table? I think we can edit that out. To the table. For example, Noble SD brings his wits, his wisdom, and a lot of proofs that land masses have in fact changed. Sandy Diva comes up with the pop cultural aspect of the Mandela effect. Fizzy Pop brings her manned animals, her wits, her charm, that infectious laughter, the cute little voice. She also does countless hours of research behind the scenes, as well as Sandy Diva. Noble SD sometimes comes up with graphics for the show. He does the people's avatars when they need a special avatar. I know he's helped me out on several occasions. And I'm just small potatoes compared to some of the channels that I will be mentioning. Other shows, such as Moneybags, Curiouser and Curiouser, and even shows like Dark Wolf's Den, who has DYI in their corner, and a lot of other Mandela researchers. On my show, the main characters are, I should say, the main support team is Armor Up and Sagittarically Speaking, with Sagittarically Speaking covering a huge bulk of the workload. So he is an honorable mention. And just because some of these people are not mentioned in my title or description, they do a lot of hard work, and they are also pillars of the community. And who can forget OP3 Crimson, who does countless hours on working on our avatars and making graphics for the shows, such as showing the Mandela effects before and after, having sort of like a Photoshop type ability to show people what these things actually look like in our memories. And the countless others who send in their emails, their Mandela effects, their proofs, their thoughts, their ideas. People like Lorraine Lamore, for example, who wrote an entire song for my show, Shifty Sunday. And then, of course, you have Armor Up, who isn't a major Mandela Effect channel, but he is a spiritual channel, and he does countless hours on trying to expose child predators, child abusers, Satan worshippers, people who have blasphemed the Bible, countless hours and doing his research and his study and reading the Bible and all that kind of good stuff. And there have been people who have came and went, like Guy Fawkes and Rachel and Photo Helix. Let's keep him in our prayers. As a matter of fact, Photo Helix was the first guy that introduced me to the Mandela Effect, even before I caught the Scare Performance show. And then you got people like Paul Adams, Hazel Fiver, Carla Redpill, and countless others who work tirelessly. Party Pup, for example, brings us the newspapers and his awesome motorcycle riding videos, which quite frankly get me car sick. But that's neither here nor there. He himself has done some outstanding jobs in the Mandela Effect community. And people like Hazel Fiver, who have their own channels, have contributed in major ways as well. But tonight we're just going to mainly be focusing on the larger channels like Scare Performance, Moneybags, Curiouser and Curiouser, and so forth. On Curiouser and Curiouser, you have Sandy Diva and Teresa Lynch, who, by the way, Teresa Lynch, lover or hater, she does a lot of work for the Mandela infected community and has many Facebook groups, which brings in thousands of people from all over the world, and a lot of them who do have these bigger channels like System Failure, the ones that I mentioned, Moneybags, Scare Performance, Needs Input. Those channels And you got to remember, Sandy Diva and Teresa Lynch started out doing work for Moneybags. Moneybags, who has been here from the beginning, comes up with all kinds of good stuff, but he doesn't do it alone, and neither do any of these other channels. It is people like Sandy Diva, Teresa Lynch, Noble SD, Guy Fawkes. The list just goes on and on. And I only mention these channels because these channels have helped my channel and other smaller channels. Scarab Performance, for an example, is one of the biggest supporters of the smaller channels. Like, he really puts his neck out there for a lot of the smaller channels, and I'm sure there's other bigger channels that do it, but I actually see him do it more. You know, he was the one that took a chance on Armor Up, and he put him on his channel, and he gave him the exposure that he needed to go out into the world and do the work of the Lord. And let me tell you something, that man Armor Up is no slouch either. He's done countless hours of work, whether it be outside the Mandela community or not. He is definitely worth a mention. And of course, my friend and co-host on most of my shows, Sagittarically Speaking, does so many hours that he goes to sleep at night, sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning. So does Sandy Diva. Sandy Diva researches until her research arm falls off. I mean, literally. These people are pillars of the community, not because they've done great feats or great strengths, but because of the little things they do. They become the foot soldiers, so to speak, in our society. They become the researchers. They become the worker bee. They become the army ants that bring the queen her food. I mean, these people are true foot soldiers in the Mandela Effect community. And I say foot soldiers because we're not going to get into the religious side. We're not going to get into the Christian side of things, because there's a lot of Christian soldiers out there as well, but this is a totally different category, and we won't get into all that in this video. I might make a future video about the Christian foot soldiers for another time. However, tonight we are talking about all these different Mandela affected people, and there are so many that I haven't even mentioned. And, you know, I mentioned all of these smaller channels, and I mentioned all of the people who work so tirelessly behind the scenes. When I say this stuff, I'm not saying that the head honchos, the big cheese, the captains of their own channels don't work effortlessly as well. Scarab Performance works countless hours in putting in video after video of things that sometimes I don't even catch. Like, I don't sit around and think, what color are watermelons? You know, where has the pyramids gone? You know what? Everyone brings so much to the table. Moneybags, he has his voter videos. He does the thumbs up, thumbs down thing. System Failure is just kind of all over the place. And then you have Needs Input, who kind of covers every single aspect of the Mandela Effect that you could possibly think of. And he does his pretty much on his own. I'm not saying he doesn't have any help. Of course he does. He gets information the same way we do. We get it from emails from people like Go-Kart Bob and Lorraine Lamore, Joanne Steen, Party Pup, Paul Jawstone, Preliminal, Sean Sean Indigital. I can't think of his name. Something Evan Powers, I believe his name is. Wesley Wabbit. There's a name you guys probably haven't heard in a while. Suso, otherwise known as Dr. Seuss. My goodness, how could I forget to mention Suso at the top of the show? I'm going to have to put his name in the description there. It's going to be a pretty long description. Of course, Crystal from Curiouser and Curiouser. You know, her channel. I mean, my goodness. Malene Brown. Rip Shop Sutton. Matthew Reed. You know, Reed Bell. Bill Allen. You know, Mike Sanders. And there's a lot more people, and I could go on and on, but I didn't want to make this such a huge video. I'm getting further away because I think I have less chins if I do that. But anyway, no, there's a lot more people out there that I'm sure I haven't mentioned, and I will list some of the names that aren't in the title of the video down in the description. I will be sending a lot of links down in there, but I just thought, you know, we should acknowledge these people. We don't say it often enough. We don't say it every day. This is Labor Day. I thought I would do this for a special video. And if there's any names that I left out, I do apologize. I think one of the names that's a contributor that sends emails and this and that is Michael Fontaine. I forgot to mention him earlier. Tobin Schwing, great guy, awesome dude. Let's see, who am I leaving out here? Propagate This Light, he does some contributing. Oh my goodness, Richard Mangler. Richard Mangler does a lot of contributing for the community as well. He's one of the few that are wrenched up in Dan's crew. And Richard Mangler's just an awesome dude. He's really nice, you know. He's just a really loving and caring guy, you know. He's really cool. You know, go check him out. I think he has a channel. He has an awesome channel. Go check that out. So yeah, also, like I said, the smaller channels like me, I'm small potatoes. But I have a lot of help. You know, Sagittarically Speaking is there on the dime, countless hours, and this and that, whatever I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And Sandy Diva makes her rounds as well. She helps out Moneybags. She helps out Dan. She helps out Noble SD's channel. She helps me out. She helps out Curiouser. I mean, the list just goes on and on. These are the only names that I can come up with off the top of my head. But you do see what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say thank you to all of you guys who contribute. And yes, even the head cheeses, the big amigos, your Susos, your Scare Performances, your Moneybags, your Hazel Fiver, your Photo Helixes, your Carla Red Pill, who I just had an amazing conversation with just the other day, and to some extent people like Armor Up and all these other people who have sort of like smaller channels that aren't necessarily Mandela Effect channels, but they are out there in the community doing what they could do, and Armor Up helps my channel a great deal. You know, I'm not just saying Saggy does all the work, okay? And, you know, I'll be honest, there's a lot of times where I slack off and I don't come up with my own ideas a lot of times when it comes to doing live streams. I do contribute. I do feel like I do say things, and like in the very beginning, when I first started calling in Dan's show, there was like just call in after call in after call in of Mandela effects that I would present to him, and some of them would fall flat, but there was quite a few that did go through and make it big time. They were big time Mandela effects, like the Ghostbuster 2 thing, whatever it was a lot of it was residue, And a lot of you do send out residue. A lot of the ones I didn't even mention yet. But anyway, I made this video a lot longer than what I originally intended to. Because, I mean, there is a lot of names out there. There is a lot of contributors, you know, that I haven't mentioned. But with that being said, I think I've said all I want to say for this video. Again, a big thank you to everyone. The ones who were mentioned in this video and the ones who I haven't mentioned. You know who you are. You know who you are. But yeah, I've said everything I've wanted to say in this video. I hope you've all liked it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to leave any comments, if there was anyone I missed that I failed to mention, please you leave a comment in the comment section. And this has been Hero77 for yet another video, and I'll see you in the future. Good night, everybody. What's up with my tooth there? Ah.